This one singular item that Epic Games re-released in Fortnite OG might have just saved the game mode itself. And it's so funny because this one item is so minute, but it creates the biggest gameplay difference. It has also affected the player count by tens of thousands of people coming back to the game. Yo, what's going on, guys? If you're new here, my name is Tricky. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to use code TRICKYS, TRICKYS, in the Fortnite item shop, and also make sure to join the Discord down below where we do giveaways almost daily. Now, we've seen many changes to Fortnite OG already, especially with the graphics, the movement style in comparison to Chapter 6, and the items. I mean, heck, Season 2's loot pool is double of what we had in Season 1, and the gameplay has just been so much better. But most of the community wants to know why the gameplay is so much better, and it's all because of this one item. Now, the item that I'm talking about is the mini shield. Before mini shields, healing was an absolute nightmare. Either you found a big shield and wasted half of it just because the healing style is different, especially with being able to cancel the big shield, unlike the mini shield, but there was only two healing options for shields. Either a slurp juice or a big shield, or you had nothing at all. The gunplay was also insane in Season 1. I mean, we had ARs that did 60 damage to the head, and if you have no shields, if you're quick at math, that's only less than 2 shots that could take you down. Every fight felt like a gamble, especially long-range fights. But now, with Fortnite OG Season 2, minis are just way faster, way more efficient, and you can stack more. You can get a total of 150 shield with a stack of minis. Similar to the big pots, where if you hold 3, you get 150 shield total, but if you accidentally cancel the big shield, it completely ruins your game. But now, it is so much easier because you can recover in seconds and then jump right back in. But why are the mini shields such a big game changer? They aren't just an item itself. And what can we learn from Season 1, especially with the healing items, to make future Fortnite OG seasons a lot better? Now, why is this item such a big deal? And what if it was removed again? How badly would this affect the player count? Now, obviously, Epic Games is not going to remove mini shields. I think it would just be a terrible idea just because without them, it's way more RNG based. If you accidentally get 2-tapped in the head by a bot, I mean, you would be dead in Season 1. It felt like taking fights was a higher risk. And let's be honest, it's so nice to be able to heal up mid-fight without having to waste a big pot. So how can we use this to learn from other items that need to be added into the game, and what can make this permanent game mode better? Well, I think first off, launch pads are also one of the biggest additions into the game. I mean, think about it. If you find a launch pad, you can travel up to 150 to 200 meters depending on how high you build, which allows for better movement and ease of access to the zone. It was such a refresher when we got them in Season 1, but I think one thing that will make Fortnite OG even better is in Season 5 when we get the bouncers back. Do you remember whenever you would place a bouncer on a wall, edit a wall in the middle, and then put the launch pad on the floor, and you would have a super boosted jump, which made for some insane rotations? This just makes the game way more fun, and it's cool seeing some of these exploits. I don't know if you could really call this an exploit because Epic has kept this in the game, and they could have tweaked it somehow to make it where you couldn't do that, but it makes the game 100 times more fun. And if you're stuck all the way back on the edge of the map and zone is about 500 meters away, it just makes it so much easier to get there. I think another big addition into the game are consumables around the map. I remember when consumables were first added in Chapter 1 Season 4, where we got the hop rocks. The hop rocks made it so if you consume them, it was like anti-gravity, and you would get super boosted jumps. This made it a lot more fun and really introduced a lot of rotation items because you could pair this with a launch pad and go super high in the air, just like a bouncer. I don't think consumables are necessary in the game, but it definitely brings a more competitive and more fun aspect just because you couldn't carry these in your inventory back in the day, but if you did consume them, it helped you get across the map so much faster. Now, I guarantee you we will see the return of these consumables along with other consumables down the road, such as apples. But the next item that I'm about to mention, I feel like made the biggest turning point in Fortnite's history. The item that I'm talking about is the shopping cart, just because this was the first ever rideable vehicle and also movable vehicle that we could interact with. I think it'll be so much fun to be able to use this in game again, just because there were some insane clips hit, but also this is what started the vehicles such as the hoverboard, the quad crasher, and also just cars in general in the game. If we didn't get this shopping cart, I don't think we would see the collabs like Lamborghini, Ferrari, and many other collabs that we have in today's game. Now, if you noticed, everything that I've mentioned has been on launch of Season 4. And I know it sounds very odd that I'm saying the best items are from Season 4, and yes, the mini shield as well from Season 2, but I feel like Season 4 is going to be the biggest turning point in OG, and I feel like we will see very, very peak player counts just because Season 4 was the most notable season. Like I mentioned, the loot pool, the addition of so many items, streamers blowing up the game, artists also coming to the game. This was just a fantastic time in Fortnite's history, and honestly, nothing will feel bland in this season at all. And especially with small additions from each season moving forward, and already the amount of people that are enjoying Fortnite OG Season 2, I think that there will be longevity in this game mode. However, I don't think that Epic should ever add Season 1 again to Fortnite OG. But let me know what you think about that. Personally, Season 1 was very stale. I don't think I'd ever want to go back to that season specifically again, but I would love to know what y'all think. One last thing as well is that I've noticed that Epic Games is slowly releasing things in Season 2, unlike Season 1. Which I think is so beneficial for the game. The game tends to get stale if all of the items are added on the first day of the season because there's nothing to look forward to. If you notice, we haven't gotten the minigun or the chug jug yet, at least on the release of this video, and I think it is very nice to have one item introduced maybe every single week or every 2 weeks, just so everything isn't bland. I hope Epic Games decides to do this in Season 3 and Season 4, which I guarantee you they will. It wouldn't make sense because they have such a massive loot pool for Season 4 and even Season 5, but they couldn't do that with Season 1 because if they were to slowly release things, we basically wouldn't have any guns in the game at the start of OG, and I feel like a lot of people would have complained about that. So getting these weekly updates, which I thought we were not going to get, or even bi-weekly updates, I think was a very good decision on Fortnite's part. But did the mini shields really save the OG game mode? In my opinion, I think they did. It allowed for quicker healing in between fights. It feels like fights are also a lot more fair with these mini shields and other healing items. And also healing feels a lot more common now, unlike back in Season 1 OG, where it felt like we didn't have any healing at all, which Epic Games did in fact increase the spawn rate for big pots, but it really didn't change the fact because RNG was still such a huge factor. But let me know what you think about mini shields overall, and also future updates. Would you like to see these weekly updates or even bi-weekly updates? I think it makes the game a lot less stale, and also it creates longevity because who wants to hop on a game that is the same game mode for over a month and a half straight? I know I don't, but I would just love to hear y'all's thoughts. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to join the Discord down below. Again, we're doing giveaways still for the OG pass. We'll be doing it for every single OG pass that releases, so if you don't get a code this time, more than likely you could get one in future seasons. Guys, I love y'all. It's been your boy Tricky. Make sure to use code TRICKYS, TRICKYS, in the Fortnite item shop, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.